thanking my friend and colleague, the senator from Mississippi, for working on these two pieces of important legislation. One which the senator from Mississippi will talk about in a moment in greater depth, the Vicksburg National Military Park Boundary Modification Act, and coupled with that is the Chesapeake National Recreation Area Act, as amended and unanimously passed by the Senate Committee on Energy and Natural Resources just last month. Madam President, I introduced the Chesapeake National Recreation Area Act in July of 2023 after years of engagement with communities around the Chesapeake Bay and with the support of Senators Cardin, Senator Warner, Senator Kaine, and it has also been introduced in the House on a bipartisan basis by Congressman Sarbanes and Congressman Whitman. The idea for a Chesapeake National Recreation Area was born 4 decades ago. So this has been a long time coming, and I'm glad we've arrived at this moment. It was motivated by the desire to formally recognize the Chesapeake Bay as the national treasure that it is, and to provide all Americans with a greater opportunity to experience it. The Chesapeake National Recreation Act would unite voluntarily contributed sites and iconic Chesapeake Bay properties under the operation of the National Park Service in what we call a string of pearls that will help to tie together key areas of the Bay. The establishment of the Chesapeake National Recreation Area would improve public access to the Bay, allowing visitors to experience it firsthand, strengthening the culture of environmental stewardship, and providing visitors with an opportunity to learn about the region's rich history and culture. The Chesapeake National Recreation Area would also create jobs and support economic growth throughout the region, promoting responsible tourism and boosting the outdoor recreation and tourist economies. This bipartisan initiative has been driven by local leaders since the beginning, and it was developed through exhaustive public outreach and meaningful collaboration with a broad range of stakeholders. I want just to a moment to describe to my colleagues the outreach effort that brought us to this moment, because it included the formation of a working group composed of a bicameral group of lawmakers, state government representatives, and more than 30 regional organizations to help develop the legislation. It included a public comment period, which we used to gather input and compiled over 1,300 comments, which we integrated the feedback into the bill. When we introduced the bill, it was accompanied by over 70 letters of support and 100 endorsements from local elected officials, environmental and historical preservation organizations, seafood and outdoor recreation businesses, and many more. We also worked closely with the National Park Service on technical assistance to guide the bill. So, Madam President, it's been with great pleasure to work with Senator Wicker on his Vicksburg National Military Park Boundary Modification Act, as we also work on this Chesapeake National Recreation Area Act. This is collaboration for the public good for people in both of our states and people throughout the United States of America. And I yield back to my friend.
Senator from Mississippi.
Simply to say that I appreciate the cooperation of the senator from Maryland, and I thank the Senate for giving unanimous consent to these two measures. The S 4994, the Vicksburg Military Park Modification Act, will simply modify the boundary of the Vicksburg National Park in my state of Mississippi. This transfer will convey a small parcel of federal land to the state government and to the Friends of Vicksburg Military Park, an organization that will assist with restoration efforts at the park. These efforts include a new state-of-the-art interactive center, which will guide tourists through the park and teach them the history and importance of Vicksburg, Mississippi during the Civil War. To execute these plans, the park will need to perform this land transfer. The state will be then responsible for building and maintaining the connector road, as well as the bridge to the new center, relieving the National Park Service from that burden. So I'm glad to see that our local partners, as well as Friends of Vicksburg, are working together to establish a modern, interactive center that will tell the story of the siege and battle of Vicksburg for many generations to come. And so I thank the chair, I thank my colleague, and I thank the Senate for giving unanimous consent to these two measures, and I yield.